Hi, my name is Nancy Eisenman, and I'm a therapist at Healing Hearts of Indy in Indianapolis, Indiana. And today, the title of my video is The Myth of Urgency. I'm a student of the concept of differentiation, which was a term brought around by Murray Bowen in his family systems theory. And differentiation can be described as an ability to control or at least minimize overreactivity in the presence of real or perceived relational closeness or distancing. It's not as much a difficult idea to grasp as much as it is a difficult idea to put into practice in life and relationships. So the big deal here is that if one is to be differentiated, they must be able to control their reactivity long enough to catch themselves from taking the bait of overreacting. Wow, I just cannot tell you how difficult it is. Invariably, in order to do so with any kind of success, you must have a very good understanding of your own particular set of wounds and a good deal of healing and grieving under your belt as well, because your partner is just so adept at finding your buttons and pushing them quite vigorously, usually. Am I right? The people closest to us, our significant other and our family of origin, those are the people who are readily capable of pushing our buttons with ease. So, say something happens that makes you angry. In one of my other videos, I discussed how anger equals ouch, meaning that anger is the overarching emotion that we see, but there's invariably pain underneath it. It's pretty safe to say that when most folks feel angry or ouch, they have an almost reflex-like reaction to protect and or counterattack. That makes sense, right? Our dear old lizard brain, survivalist mode, kicks into effect, and look out. Fight or flight is pretty automatic. If we're used to fighting about the same thing over and over for years, we may be able to control a raging outburst, but the temper, the anger, the pain, and the resentment, that still stews on the inside. So what I'm going to suggest today is going to give you and me a bit of permission to pause. Yep, I'm talking about stopping that whole fight or flight mess that gets us into so much trouble, and giving ourselves some time to think and reflect before reacting. Sound easy? Perhaps not. But what would it be like for you to be able to stop just before an argument starts and keep it from turning into a bloodbath? That's worth the price of admission right there. So here's what it looks like. Say your partner says something that ticks you off. Now, immediately in that moment, there is a choice to make. Do I go with old lizard brain and fight back, or run away and retreat? Maybe you're battle savvy with your particular partner, and you've got some walls and some scars already from fighting them, and you simply just give them a laser-like glare and let some good-sized resentment build. I'd like to offer another option. Intervene with yourself and your thoughts right there. There is a myth being believed right in that moment that is going to leave you completely unsatisfied with the outcome of this fight. This is the myth of urgency. It is actually not urgent that you defend yourself right in that moment. It is not crucial that you crush the other person right then or run away immediately. You can be just fine in that moment without doing either one. Lizard brain was meant to protect us in extreme physical danger, not a disagreement with our partners. The ability to hold still in this moment will give you the time you need to react with much more thoughtfulness, calmness, and after thinking first. Can you see how much better your reaction will be if you really think before reacting? You can also take that time to take stock of and honor your own feelings. Your response can be planned and on your own terms instead of your partner's terms and under the influence of your wounds. You can actually take a moment in that time as well to consider the other person's true intentions, which, by the way, are almost never about wanting to hurt you. And also remember their wounds and take care of their feelings. It's beautiful. I cannot tell you how many millions of times I have fallen into the trap of the myth of urgency. I would have to admit that I tend to be a little on the stubborn side sometimes when needing to learn difficult lessons. But I finally figured out, though, that I do not have to react in that very moment. It doesn't mean that I've given up my right to discuss it later or choose a course of action later. It does mean that I'm claiming my right to get a hold of my reactivity before engaging with my partner, and this can only mean a cleaner and clearer picture of the situation and a less volatile encounter. So I'm not suggesting that this is easy or that anyone can do it without practice. No. I'm only saying that it's possible and that the skill is beyond worth learning. This freedom that I'm talking about comes from humbly seeking to heal ourselves and get a handle on our reactivity. So I'm going to make a pretty bold statement here. I think that differentiation, when really practiced fully, is the cure for almost all anxiety. It allows us to relax from the pull of overreactivity. Prerequisites for learning this skill are just some teachability, some motivation, some trust, and most of all, humility. We can start from the beginning or wherever you are on your journey. Just bring an open heart. Please feel free to drop me a line at www.healingheartsofindy.com under the Contact Us tab. I'll be happy to help you. Thanks for watching.